Good morning, everybody. This is Jeff Veale, the business guru, coming to you from downtown Manila. And today I've got a very exciting guest, an amazing man, all the way from the Hollywood area. Imagine that, guys. I'm going to tell you a bit about this man. His name is 𝐷𝗫𝐶𝐵. Brian has got an interesting career. He's a CEO, host, creator, and producer of movie reviews and more. A media digital creator, 30 years plus in the business. Movie Reviews and More is one of the best outlets in the world, having ended up in the top 60 most entertaining in the world, best summer 23 influencers of the world, one of the best male hosts in the world, the Global 50 radio shows, LA Weekly Times, New York Daily Times, online, best show, and I could go on and on and on about this man, guys. Movie Reviews and More, with its 50 million views and counting, continues to grow in popularity. And he's got Pandora, Spotify, Google, Amazon Music, and more, guys. Over 100 more outlets throughout the world, right? His personal motto: if you see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours, because the world needs more smiles, right? Interesting fact, he loves the world of drum and bugle corps and still watches 2 or 3 movies a day while kicking back and doing his work. So it gives me great pleasure today to introduce my wonderful guest, Mr. 𝐷𝗫𝐶𝐵. Hello there, Brian. How's things, buddy?
Hey, Jeff. Pleasure meeting you, and I love your stories in that hotel in Vegas, the MGM Grand.
That's the one. Yeah, beautiful hotel. Probably still there. All right, Brian, tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue your current career path, my friend.
Well, I started off with home videos. Remember video stores?
We used to have them. Blockbuster and all that sort of thing?
Well, yeah, I put a dent in one Blockbuster by doing quarter days. They couldn't, when corporations have corporations, they can't drop their prices in unison. But if you're a small mom and pop, you can do anything to survive.
Correct.
So that's what I learned about marketing and things like that.
That's
so
clever.
We did that. But I used to have a lot of celebrities come into our video stores in the UCLA Westwood area of Los Angeles. And, we had 16 movie theaters and a bunch of video stores. So it was the busiest one in the country. And you start to learn how to get people to come into your stores. Those celebrities come into your stores, give them the right movies, they will come back. It's almost like playing the right movie in the theaters. People will go to the movies. And if you can't play another one, they will come back. So the more you do things like that, the better things will be. And that's what you start to learn about marketing. Like, the business guru, 15 minutes of fame.
Correct.
Give those people that in that 15 minutes, you better be able to turn out your spiel. If you don't, if it's too long, people's attention spans are nothing, right?
That's the one. Yeah. What's been the most challenging aspect of your work and how have you overcome it?
Waiting for other people to get something that they didn't understand. Just because you're an inventor or a creator, you create something now, doesn't mean it's not going to coexist 3 years from now. You just may be ahead of the thing, of the group. Think about Steve Jobs when he started, working on the Apple phone out of the garage. And if you weren't one of those early investors, look where they are now. They're all billionaires. But again, 3 years from now, people don't know where you could be. I know exactly where I'm going to be because I could see things out. You plan on doing things now and you start to visualize it, you'll be in okay if you continue doing it. You got to be consistent.
Yeah, I see, and you'll probably love it too. I see AI and its ability to very soon to be able to probably produce full-length movies equal to Steven Spielberg, all done from your laptop. Some 18-year-old doing it from his laptop at home.
Yeah, why not? The problem is, then people start to lose their jobs. That's the only issue with that.
Yes, agree. But there'll always be room for good talent. Can you tell us an important moment in your career that pretty much changed the direction in what you were going?
I would say in 2008 during the housing bubble in the United States. I was toiling in the hot sun in Canyon Country, Los Angeles, California, about 25 minutes from Hollywood. And I was picking weeds, and sand and dirt at a horse ranch, dressage. And we didn't have grass, we had sand and dirt. So you learn how to do different things differently.
Right.
If you have sand and dirt, otherwise grass. And I'm like, okay, do I want to go back to the Four Seasons and interview celebrities for the rest of my life? Or do I want to pick weeds and, help other people's horses? And that was a decision for me. So I
Yes.
decided I want to help small businesses. I want to help women-owned businesses, and I wanted to help women in the world of dressage and in fitness because they weren't getting the recognition. And I said, if I can help them, then I can help other people in that same category too. And that was the change in my direction, and that's what we've been doing ever since.
Yeah, you sound like a thinker. In your opinion, what are the key qualities or skills that you believe have contributed to your success so far to date?
Well, I did things what other people weren't doing. Like most people have a book. Well, I haven't written my book yet. I have a ghostwriter, but I haven't written it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Most people have a website. Well, I don't have a website because I didn't want to do the work on the website. I'm not a good writer. I'm not that person.
Mm-hmm.
The other people are, going on stage speaking that. Well, I'd rather do it virtually and I'd rather do it in 15 minutes like this. Again, 15 minutes of fame because
Yes.
of people's attention span. Give me
Yes.
15 minutes and ask Q&A, and then I can grab a bunch of people that way. So I do things opposite everybody else, and it works for me. Does it work for everybody else? The answer is yes. But the only problem is you got to be willing to put in the work. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, of course. No work, no rewards, guys. And getting back to the book, guys, I'm going to write I hope I'm 75. I hope to write a book one day. But what's held me back? It'd be like science fiction. No one would believe it. That's what's held me back. But never mind. I've got a book in me. I'll probably get it now. I've got AI to help me. I'll probably get it out there one day. Can you discuss a recent project or a recent project or an achievement? I'm full of the flu here today, or that you're particularly proud of, Brian?
Yeah, the fact that we have now, when I wrote to you, we had 50 million views and counting. Now we have 55 million views and counting. Our numbers
Fantastic.
continue to go up each day. And that's what
Fantastic.
makes me happy. It's, we go by the views, not the followers, not the subscribers, not the likes. And
And
I wonder if we have this, why doesn't everybody else has these numbers? Because everybody else can. And they can. So when I have the stuff like this, like you get to see this, that's
wow.
54 million views and counting. And
Yeah,
if you look at that, our numbers
unbelievable.
go up.
Yeah.
So I've been keeping track since April 16th of 2019.
Yeah. You got to know
So
your
if you think
numbers.
about
Yeah.
that, I write them down in a book and I write them down in my phone, just like I write every single movie down.
Yeah.
So I document everything I do, and then you could see the growth. So no matter what world you would be in, if you do that and you see the growth, that keeps you going.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that fully. Um, Tell me, what advice would you give someone aspiring to follow in footsteps and do something similar to yourself? What advice would you give them?
Just continue being creative. If you're an inventor, you're not doing it for money, you're doing it to help someone. Everybody usually starts off like that, and then you get a little bit of money and you think your attitudes or values may change.
Yes.
For us, I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to be a small business. I know what
Yes.
it's like to, now, have millions when it comes to our views, and then our property for Dreamweaver, which is helping people sustainable, environmentally friendly, and net zero, finding those great products out there that people don't know exist. I was using an AI product back in what, 2018,
Yeah,
that I
correct.
would write on, and I can get off and would follow me. It was called the Lumo that Segway created. I
Fantastic.
would write on it with my niece, and it would record your every movement. This is in 2018. I had this,
Correct.
so
Correct.
that's 7 years ago. And look to see where everybody is now. So I've been
Yes.
able to find a lot of good technology that people don't even know exists at this Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas, otherwise called the CES show. And
Uh-huh.
we're the first ones to always broadcast there every Tuesday at the beginning of the year. So we
Yes.
start at the beginning of the year, and just finding things that people would not know that exist, but that can help you. And like you were saying, AI to write your future book.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, very interesting. Looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future? You're doing well. What are your goals? And I know you're a guy who wants to keep moving. What's your goals and aspirations for the future, Brian?
Well, Mother Earth is not playing around, so you've got to help people. You've got to, without bumblebees, without, coral in the sea, without trees, we don't exist because you need those three elements. How many people tell you that? You take
Uh-huh.
those three elements away, there is no Earth. And I
Yes.
say that, how are you going to go to Mars? How are you going to go to the moon if you can't take care of the place where you are now?
Yes. You
I
mentioned
look at that. It's
yeah, you
inconsistent.
Yeah, you mentioned the moon. I've often wondered because they went to the moon so many years ago, and I'm sort of asking myself, why haven't you been back, guys? I would have thought we'd have a colony up there by now. So that's another interesting subject for another day. Um, Tell me, how can our viewers and listeners find out more about you and reach out to and connect with you, Brian, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Dreamweaver Arts, dreamweaverarts.org, dreamweaverarts.org, or our YouTube channel, or just movie reviews and more at gmail.com. I'm accessible. You know, I learned this from my old co-host, Bill Margold.
Yep.
He always gave out his phone number, and he enjoyed talking to a lot of fans. So he, for many, many years until he passed on, he enjoyed talking to people that recognized him. I'm
Correct.
more like, we have more mental health problems, so you have to be careful now. I've never had a stalker. I've been very, very fortunate.
Yes.
But also, it's about helping those people who need the help, like helping to promote 15 Minutes of Fame, getting to know people like that. If you got a book, if you're creating something, helping them get the word out. Not enough people do that. Yeah,
correct. Yeah, you're right. You go to a restaurant these days, and you'll see two partners. They're both on their mobile phones while they're having the meal. And I tell people, there'll be the day I'll walk down Hollywood and I'll, hey, here comes Brian. I'll whip my phone out and say, hello, Brian, how are you? This is Jeff from Australia. And you'll go, I'm great, Jeff. Nice to see you. And we won't even talk. You know, that's how I see things almost today. You know, it's really sad but true, guys. Before we wrap up, tell me a fun fact about yourself that most people wouldn't know.
But I like to wield the drum and bugle corps. That, you know, my first favorite 3 songs are rock and roll songs, not R&B song, not rap.
Right.
My favorite song is Let Me Go Rock and Roll by Kiss. My second one is Ain't Talking About Love by Van Halen. My third one is Hey Jude, the live version.
Oh, yeah,
I think
lovely.
it's the David Frost live version right before the Beatles start to break up. That one.
Lovely.
And then I get into R&B and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How many black chaps do you know that can say that? The answer is none.
Yeah, I'm at my funeral. I've got my funeral all organized, written out. It's going to be when I'm walking in. It's going to be simply the best, and we are the champions.
Mine might be either symphony. I mean, it'll probably be Danny Boy, but done by the 27 dancers.
Yeah, lovely song, lovely song. I thought you might have done I Did It My Way.
No, drum corps all the way. You know, I've always told people, if I got into an accident and I was in a coma, you play some drum and bugle corps, I guarantee you I will wake up.
That's fantastic. Tell me, what's your favorite, as far as movies go? This is not on my list, but what's your favorite? You're an interesting guest. What's your favorite genre as far as movies go?
I like sci-fi.
All right.
You know, sci-fi thrillers, things that where I don't figure it out the first 15 minutes. You know, so one of my favorite films is the very first favorite film that I liked as a little kid, which is the Mad, 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 Mad World. Remember that movie?
Yeah,
Milton Berle.
Oldie but a goodie. Yep. Yeah.
That one. I would have never known that Milton Berle and Mickey Rooney, I would have met them and they would have become
Mickey
friends.
Rooney. Now you're going back away. Mickey Rooney, you're going back to National Velvet.
Well, then, yeah. So it was an honor, you know, to meet them, to become friends with them, you know?
Yeah. There's some pretty interesting characters in Hollywood. I would have loved to, the people I would have loved to have met would have been Jack Nicholson. I think he's an amazing man. And also I would have loved to meet, for his humor and his character, Danny DeVito. You know,
well, Danny's funny. His publicist is Stan Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Danny's doing good. You know, he is doing Subway commercials now. But you know, he's still doing good. You know.
Yeah. Imagine a five foot man going out with beautiful six foot women. Amazing man.
Well, he's Danny. He had a good sense of humor.
Yeah, correct. And women love that. You know, you're right.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we'll wrap this up. I could talk to you. You're a fascinating guest. I could talk to you for hours, Brian, but I'll wrap this up. And thanks for coming along today. And guys, if you want 15 minutes of fame, just like Brian here, and what will happen, guys, all this will be put on across all the social media channels, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and particularly YouTube, with all of Brian's social links down below. So you can reach out and have a chat to him and like me, find out all about this fascinating man. And guys, so if you want your 15 minutes of fame, please feel free to reach out. We're doing this the whole month of, I'm having a look at my calendar, the whole month of May. We've got 9 days left, so we've got a few guest spots left. So if you want your 15 minutes of fame, guys, reach out and we'll try and make you famous as well. Thanks very much for coming along today, Brian. You've been a great guest.